Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Can you just confirm that you can hear me and you should be able to hear the game bubbling away in the background? Just a quick AV test just to make sure we're all good before we get on. I hope everyone is well this warm evening. Yup. Yes, all fine, loud and clear. Excellent. Excellent. Right, I'm prepared to wait at least 13 seconds before we get told you're too quiet, you're too loud, I can't hear you. Okay? Excellent. This is good. Shouldn't you be hearing game music? You should be hearing game music. Can you not hear game music? I did actually. I turned streaming audio down earlier on. Is that better? I was doing something else with the capture card and couldn't hear myself think. Right. Hopefully you can hear the music now. I'm very good, thank you. Only me. How are you? Nigel, good to see you. What's the green screen background? This is a train. I can't remember which one. Right, tonight we are looking at the BR204. No music. Seriously, you're not getting any are you not getting any game audio? Why are you not getting any game audio? It's there. Can you hear it now? There's no point carrying on. Oh, you can hear music, but it's very quiet. Aha! That's better than nothing. Let me check in settings. That's all set to 100%. That's set up. Did I turn the game down? No. I didn't turn the game down, so everything's at 100%. So why can't you hear it? I don't know why you can't hear it. You can hear music now. You know what? Let's just drive a train. Game audio is streaming software. Say that again, JP. Right, so we're doing one of the services. So the BR204 got an update. Yes, I've got the game audio and the streaming software turned right up, JP. It's at its maximum. What I could do, actually, I have the opportunity to go in and give it a boost. Actually, I can tell it that it can do. That's the system sound. Is that going to help? If I set that to 200 and then do that, has that made it louder? So the BR204 got an update recently, courtesy of Rivet Games, and it has. You can now hear 204 gloriness, can you? Fantastic. So the BR204 got an update. I'm going to start again, and we're going to get it going this time. And it contained one new scenario. I've got the fix list somewhere over here. What we got? Expanded the range of timetable services. So there's one service was actually replaced. So a simple, tedious, short service was replaced with a longer, more complicated and interesting one, which I'm about to do now, which is this one, Shim's Freight Delivery. There was an additional scenario added, which is 105 minutes long, called Law Industrial Delivery. Resolved an issue that could result in derailing during uncoupling operations in the Aschaffenburg order scenario. Added cab sway feature to the loco. Backspace now operates the emergency brake application. Updated bogie positions to fix instances of offset bogies. Don't know what that means. Updated the head-out camera for left and right views. Boom. How do we get? There you go. And improved a variety of model and localization implementations. So there you go, folks. There you have it. Gameplay though. Now I haven't driven this for ages, so I can't remember what I'm doing. Which basically means I'm where I normally am when I do basically anything. Right, so we're going to pull forward there. I can do that. Let's do the pulling forward thing. Something to do with putting a key in there and releasing that and releasing that and going. We're doing the going thing. There you go, look, cab's way. Oh, okay, way too much powers. Apparently this thing goes like the clappers. Right, that's better. Try and stay in speed limit anyway. Will I be doing the Overgrow subdivision anytime soon? I did it actually not that long ago, David. So I don't know when it'll be on the roster next. Lights are back here, aren't they? So I want front headlights on. Marker left. Red. No. Wait. Ooh, we got lights. Back headlights. Don't want on. I want back lamp to red. I want that to red. Boom! Right, okay, let's watch what we're doing. Give it a bit of speed. I'm on my miles per hour. Terrible. Someone should fix that. So has everyone had a look at the model since the update? I love the little shunters. It's really good to have a German shunter in the game finally. Stop! Darn you! Thank you. Right, so I am going to just reverse. Because I'm a rebel. Let's make sure we know where we're going first, and the appropriate junctionally things have been set. They have. Let's put the brakes off just for the giggles. Not long until we're back into a 10 limit. But that's okay. We'll enjoy. How do you mean did Sam break the beginning timer, British Ace? We've got the white lights. Slow down. What's up? Have I selected shunting on the dashboard? Probably not, actually. That's where is it? There, isn't it? Shunting is in fast gear. I've got to wait until we're stopped and put it in neutral, and we'll do that. What do you do in the new scenario? I've not played it yet, Zamba. Maybe someone who has played it can comment on that. It's 105 minutes long, so it's quite a bit different. Because was different one at beginning today, Matt? Well, that's because Sam and I stream on different PCs, and mine's set up differently to him. Oh, Sam said he broke it yesterday by accident. Ah. The driver actually has my haircut, really? Oh, look at that! Spot on. It's not actually my haircut. But close. That's what it looks like from the front, anyway. I think Captain Picard is probably closer to mine. And if you all want to compare me to Captain Picard, I'm fine with that. Seriously. DB doesn't feature pink headphones as standard issue, Rob Jansen. No, they don't. They don't. It's nobody's perfect though, so let's not judge. This isn't the Crystal Maze Fab Diva. It's Shunting, but it doesn't make it a maze. Baked Bean Kid might probably think it's the Crystal Maze, but assuming we're going to get something. Go via location. Oh, okay. Oh, we're going to go and get these, are we? Let me change that then on the basis that presumably this is where we're going. What was the NTP update for on Xbox? So it's another attempt at trying to fix the crash that happens around Miles Platting. But there seems to be more to it again. But it's really annoying because I ran it all the way, no problems, and still people are saying it doesn't work. So it's clearly not as simple as just one thing. C'est la vie. Well, that's a really rude place to leave a car. David Tribble, if you have any suggestions at all, obviously back on the forums. Always interested to see what people are saying. That's what happens if you park in the crane operator spot. I like your style, train bone. But we are, look at that, we are going to get those. You can run faster than this, 10 kilometers an hour, you probably can. However, once you've coupled up to the wagons, you might have more difficulty moving than this does, to be fair. Ferrovate, how do you mean the switches isn't set correctly? I've changed all the switches. Ferrovate, we're not discussing TSW2 on these streams. If you've got questions, post them on the forums, and they'll be combined and collated and stuff to answering Q&As. Dum-de-dum. We're getting there. That point just up. The lever just suddenly flipped over. Nice. Subtle. Craig's Pud. I am running the Shims freight delivery service, which is the new one that was added for the as part of the update that just came out for the BR204 this week, I think. Sam, but I don't know the answer to that question. Just going to slow down because it feels like I'm going a bit fast. Wrong way. Hey, welcome Rivet Games. Right. Put it forward. Actually, no, let's put it in the middle and switch this over to our Shunting mode, like we're supposed to be in. Right. Okay, so we are cruising down here. We're going to go down that way this time, are we? Fantastic. Green lights, out to there. Who's this from Rivet Games then? To whom am I addressing? I wonder if I could if I push these, could I get them back into the river? But there's no fish in these wagons, so it doesn't really matter. I can't really use the excuse I'm setting the fish free if it's steel. Steel doesn't belong in the water, no matter how much I might pretend that's a good thing. Samba, when Mixer shuts down, what's DTG's plan? So we already stream on YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer at the same time. So right now you can join us on Twitch and YouTube. So I would suggest you find us on an appropriate channel, and then that's your answer. Steel and water equals iron brew. In that case, they're going in the drink, JP. Iron brew sounds like a plan. So one thing I miss in this, in the after times, in the COVID after times, is I can't make my 2 AM trips to Tesco. You know, first world problems and all, but Jasper. Hello, Jasper. I don't think we've met yet. We'll have to fix that. See you later, meow meow. Meow meow. Murder and ice cold iron brew. Exactly, baby and kid. What do I get at 2 AM? Anything I want, British Ace. Anything I want. Speaking of JP, your other package arrived today and is already being heavily overused. Appreciate that. Iron Brew is so overrated. No. The only thing that would make Iron Brew better is if it was pink. Hey there, EVOs, how's it going? You're on Xbox, Samba. Can you not access Twitch or YouTube from Xbox? Gonna have to be one of those platforms, I'm afraid. Moggy, you've been enjoying a Lipton's lemon iced tea. Well, I've been drinking water because I'm a good boy with my special water thing. It is really good to get out to the dockyard, isn't it, Evie? Chat doesn't work on it. Oh, that's a problem, Samba. I didn't realise that. Have you got a mobile device? Because you could perhaps watch it on the Xbox while you use your mobile device to chat. I haven't had a cup of tea in weeks. It just gets to... What happens is that the weather has a turning point, and without even thinking about it, I just don't drink tea anymore. I just drink gallons of water. That's when I know that it's summer, and I'm not even conscious of something I'm doing. It's just, if I suddenly lose an appetite for tea and I suddenly start drinking a lot more water, summer must be here. And then what will happen is a bit later in the year, the idea of drinking water will make me ill, and I'll be desperate for a cup of tea and wondering what the heck I've been doing all this summer. And then it's cooled down. Must be water. It must be winter. Must be water. Can you walk faster than this train? Yes, Ollie, but not if you're hauling a good few thousand tons of steel, or a few hundred tons of steel. You might have a problem walking faster than this train with all this steel. You might not, I guess. I would. Just speaking for me, I would not be able to pull this steel. Bit of a wimp. We got a gradient now. We've got a gradient. No wonder why we slowed down. Good evening, Steam Trains Unlimited. I am not Cartman Fabdiva, as much as my wife keeps telling me I am. I'm very good, thank you, Steam Trains. How are you? Still without work due to the corona issue. Remind me, you're on the buses, aren't you? Steam Trains Unlimited? I think we must be... No, I just got overzealous with the speeds. Let's get overzealous with the brakes instead. Oh, I thought they were bringing the buses back in a limited form. Has that turned out not to be happening, or...? There is a simple fix to that though, Samba. I don't want to stir the pot too much, but there is a simple fix to that. It's the same one I tell my kids about every now and again. Right, found our way to the yard. Josh, Jasper, sorry, there's been a bunch of questions about what the new scenario is about. Could you give us a rundown of what the new scenario is? The lore one, but I can't remember the full name of. Fire away, Steam Trains Unlimited. As long as it's not TSW2. Can't ask the answer TSW2. Hey Jamie, how's it going? Fab Diva, what kind of trouble are you trying to get me in? Do you think it's difficult to drive with PZB? PZB has a bit of a tough learning curve. Once you've got the hang of it, it's not difficult in the slightest. But until you've got the hang of it, it feels like it's utterly impossible, and anyone who does it is superhuman. Well, Shemmy, your first time checking out the stream? Well, welcome to you, sir. You got some money and going to buy a new train DLC for TSW. I'm not going to give you a recommendation because I have no idea about you. But tell us about what you like to drive, what you've already got. Have you got anything in mind? And I'm sure that between us and the viewers, we will come up with brilliant recommendations. We've got all the routes except for the Canadian one. Wow. Okay. Rivet Games. Yeah, the new scenario is starting in the Industrial Park of Law, right at the siding in Law. Features a run around and then a run down the main line to Aschaffenburg. Oh, fantastic. So actually that was quite a lot of people were asking for that, weren't they? Ability to take the... because this is a mainline switcher. So the ability to take this actually out onto the main line is very cool. We won't be doing that tonight because at 105 minutes it's not really time for that. Okay. Where are we going now? Forwards. Right. You've been tempted to grab the chopper. I don't think you'll be disappointed from what I'm seeing in the reviews. I know personally, I think you won't be. I know you won't be disappointed. But if you've got, so what's your favourite route, Tees Valley or the NTP? Because if your favourite route is the NTP, then the heavy freight pack makes a huge difference to it. If you're on the TVL more, then the 31 and the 20 both do a lot. 31 adds the hauling of the Class 101 as well, which is quite fun. But the 20 sounds awesome. If your favourite route is the NTP, then heavy freight pack should be in your basket, Welsh Jammy, in my opinion. Lots of fun new services to play. The 40 is amazing. In the DTG intro, there's a steamer passing by with some 1920s freight wagons. No, there's no view at the moment about what the first steamer will be. Steam Trains Unlimited. Any idea if the Xbox DLC sale at any time? I have no idea what's going on with sales on the console platforms, I'm afraid, Welsh Jimmy. Welsh Jammy, sorry. I would keep an eye out. Loaded oil up NTP is insane, yes. The 18 TEA tankers with a double header 40 on the front is a sight to behold. The thrash coming out of Manchester is epic. You long for TSW too, John Hanson? Me too, mate. Me too. Is Smokebox building the steam engine for TSW? Nobody is building a steam engine for TSW at the moment. Smokebox is building a steam engine for TS1 at the moment. I think he's building the big boy. He's doing an amazing job as always. Right, that one there. We need to do this one here and this one here. Oh, yard hopping. Oh, I love a bit of yard hopping. Yard dopping. What am I on? Speaking whole sentences that make sense, man. Right. Why did you put the 40 and the Gronk together? Because it kind of adds a nice wide variety. I mean, the NTP really needed the Gronk to sort of add gameplay in the yard, and the 40 is just another really common site that was missing from that route. So it kind of made sense to put them together. TSW 4K, yeah. The BR204 is all about this area down here in the docks, and also this area down here to Lure. So that scenario, the new scenario, features you in the siding. You'll come out, run around, and then you'll drive the BR204 all the way down the Spessart ramp, which I imagine is quite amusing in this, into Aschaffenburg. Have your colleagues gotten used to seeing my pink trains yet? Oh, they're bored to tears of my pink trains, only me. It's lost its... I did actually. I was doing something the other day, playing an early build, and I was driving a train, and I had a bunch of people watching me from the team, and then I flicked to an outside camera, and the number of people went, "Oh, jeez, Matt." Right. Oh, got a signal. Do I stream every evening, Welsh Jammy? I don't at the moment. I used to, and I'm going to try and get back to it, but probably after TSW2 comes out. At the moment, Railfan TV is every evening except Sundays, and it's either myself or the great Colonel Failure that are running the stream. So I'm back tomorrow. As it happens, I'll be playing TS1 on the Fife Circle. Oh, you're starting right at the end of the siding, right to the main. Oh, I got you. You had pink cars on GTA 5, as it should. See you later, Welsh Jammy. How does the throttle wheel look on a 204? Like a lot of German locos, to be honest. It's essentially a notched thing that you go click, 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 click as it goes around. I guess I forgot to change the juncture. Where are you going? Oh, what? This is 14 metres to a red signal. I'll try and squeeze into that red signal. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm still on the point, aren't I? Oh, look at that. Look at that. We might be able to make it. Can you tab it? No, you can't, because I've not cleared that way. I've got to get to that waypoint back there. I've got 3 meters. 2 meters. I had 2 meters! Mind you, you're not allowed less than 2 meters, are you? Should we try it again? It was enforcing social distancing from the signal. Never mind. Let's do this again. This time with feeling. No, got to put the key in. Golden rule is always check your junctions before you move. Everybody, what's the golden rule? And what have I just done? Oh no, I did actually check my junctions. Good boy. Well done. Read the instructions, don't be daft, that beaver. Isn't that to not let Matt drive? Well, that's golden rule number 2, yeah. Sitting there smashing the caps lock key, wondering why I ain't putting any power on. Not pressing the wrong key. You're muting me, train boy. Harsh. Golden rule is camera action first, junctions later. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be working out very well, Matthew. Golden rule is to grip it and rip it. Yeah, that doesn't work very well either. Okay, check the points. While we're at it, let's do this one and do this one. Right. Baked Bean Kid, no, everybody's still working at home. There are no immediate plans to change that. At some point there will be, but not at the moment. Right. You shut off the markers. Yeah, I know a number of people will turn off all of the HUD elements. Are there any plans to support the DTG freezer, Moggy? Yes, the DTG freezer is supported by the floor. Has always been, will always continue to be, Moggy. Steam trains, you love Tees Valley Railway? Yeah, it is good, isn't it? But I do like a bit of thrash over the Pennines on ATP. You assume that we hadn't raided it as we left the office, Fab Diva? I'm sure it got thoroughly raided. You just got a keyboard, but it uses a PS2 connector for an Xbox One adapter. I have no idea. You might do. You might find it cheaper to just buy a USB keyboard, to be honest. Why is the lake between Filantrop and Siegen not built? Because all projects take time, Steam Trains Unlimited. And making routes for TS4 takes a lot longer than TS1. Somewhere down here the gradient changes. Joshua, I didn't see your question. What was your question? If it was TSW2 question, then I can't answer it. But if it's not a TSW2 question, ask it again. I've come off of the grade. Now the thing will just go on its own. Currently on the Peninsula Corridor, and you got the achievement Run Cat Run. Nice. It's the longest route in Train Sim World. The longest route in Train Sim World is Sandpatch Grade, followed very, very closely by Peninsula Corridor. No, the GP40 is not usable in that free roam scenario. You're right. It's exciting going this fast, isn't it? I should fail this scenario again. Northern Transpennine, 40-something miles, I think, steam trains. Sandpatch Grade is nearly 50, I think. OG905, the update to Northern Transpennine on Xbox was an attempt to try, an update to try and put the, to solve the crash. There appears to be more to it. I literally on my own system, I can run that service. And it works fine. Is it 57 with branch? I couldn't remember whether it was 50 or 50 or nearly 60 actually. It might be because it was nearly 60, yeah. Yeah, 57, there you go. If I remember rightly, the branch line is about 4 or 5 miles, isn't it? Hey, Carbox. Yellow band on the dial that says S. So this gauge actually comes from the Class 101 diesel multiple unit Haraharen, and that is sort of signifies when it's engaged, when the drive shaft is engaged. Don't know whether that applies to this type of loco or not. That sounds like it, Derek. So 47 miles for Penn Corridor and NTB 44, yeah. Sounds familiar. Right. I guess it depends whether you like shunting or G905. What train do I like most in the game, Lorne? That's difficult, because it really depends what I'm doing. I really like the 40 on Northern Transpennine. I like the Class 101 quite a lot on any of the BR routes. I quite enjoy driving the F40 PH2 Cat on Peninsula Corridor because the braking is interesting. Baked Bean Kid, purely picked for you, actually. Purely picked for you. I just thought, oh, and this is what Baked Bean Kid's going to love. I should make sure I mess it up halfway through and start it again. He'd really enjoy that. I streamed on TSW streams on Xbox. To be honest, I don't actually have my Xbox down here. My daughter nicked it. And normally when I stream from console, I'll stream on my PlayStation. However, my daughter's also nicked that now as well. So, Jamie, I'm streaming tomorrow. I am doing the Fife Circle. I'll put it with all the other ones, Baked Bean Kid. Same round thing, yeah? You have TSW, Colorblind have problems with the yellow and green light with signal to differentiate it. Set Colorblind settings. So that was actually one of the reasons, because my son is colorblind as well, Daniel, and one of the beta testers and a friend of mine, he's actually full grayscale colorblind, so he can't actually see colour at all. And that was the reason we added these the markers on this signal here. So you'll see the shape is up that way for a green. It's an angle that's an angle like that for yellow, and it's horizontal for a red light. So that's added up to there specifically for that. And definitely looking to try and find other ways. So if there's particular areas you're finding challenging because of colour blindness, I'm really interested to hear where those are. Because yeah, I definitely want to try and improve that experience. Yeah, one of the design philosophies that we're applying going forwards is no change ever happens just in colour. Any change must be a style or visual change, a shape change, as well as a colour change, which should make it better. Should. We'll see. As always, I'm always keen to hear from people who are finding problems with accessibility with the game, and so that I can understand what we can do to help. Right, we're getting on to the 1 in 250 in a moment. OG905, you can't just have colorblind mode, because it means different things to different people, and I'd much rather just have a single design that just works well for everybody, rather than having to have special modes, which is why I want to understand what the problems are that people actually have, so that we can try and embed solutions to that into the broader design. Demonstrating my competence by pressing the wrong key to cut the throttle. I think I've demonstrated plenty of competence tonight, so I don't have to worry too much about that. You have a problem with the game, you haven't got enough time to keep playing it. Amen. I know exactly what you mean. Unfortunately, we tried bundling extra time in the box and it didn't fit. There wasn't time to do it. Sorry. Dear Matt, I'm finding it hard to access lots of train sims because they contain shunting. Please help. Lots of love, BBK. You just need to find that love of shunting. That's what you need to do, BBK. You just need to find that love of shunting. Maybe you have two symbols, and that for those where you have, say, a green yellow and different symbol to yellow yellow. The minute you the HUD up here is intended to be a country and signal system agnostic abbreviated view of the signals. The minute you start putting any kind of specifics in there, you then need to cater for the 15 different aspects in America. They've got the 5 or 6 different aspects in Germany, and all of a sudden the cost of adding a signal system to get into a new country goes through the roof to support that. Whereas that's meant to be really simple, you're clear to go, have to stop, something in between. It's not intended to replace looking at the signals. You find the love of going up and down a yard at 5 miles per hour, hours and hours, and ending up with everything seeming to be in exactly the same place when you started. If it all ends up in the same place when you started, you've probably done something wrong, mate, being kid, and should refer to the instructions more clearly. Capri, you're torn between two evils, train sims and model railways. Love both, but not enough days in the week or hours in the day for both. No, I know that. I know how you feel. Anyone else hear an alarm on the Tees Valley line? Yes, it's when bridges going up and down. Maybe have written text for the colours. So the minute you get into written text, who suggested that? James. The minute you get into written text, it then needs localising, because all of a sudden it's language, and then you've got the French, the German, the English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Polish, Russian, and Chinese as the current language set the game supports, and some sentences are enormous in something like Italian, where they're quite short in say English, or Chinese, particularly short in some cases. And so it becomes really difficult to create UIs that have got text. So you want to try and use more iconography and less text. And the key thing is to make sure your iconography doesn't rely on colour. Hey Con, how's it going? Greetings. Evening, Moshkaz. Right. Major sense of deja vu here. Did I succeed? I did succeed. Yeah. Doubting myself. Right, let's be good. Check your junk and teeth back in. Check your junctions before you leave. Hey there, I am crazy. I'm good, thank you. How are you? The last one was wrong. How do you mean? Ah. No, that one's all good. Ah, Danny, so guess what what you're thinking about then is, what you want is the actual colour of the in-world to have a colorblind mode, so that the in-world signals are perhaps higher contrast. See you later, Ace Gamer. As I say, trying to avoid using text in Trains Unlimited. Because text brings a whole slew of other problems. Right, I haven't checked my route. This is where I got tripped up because it was going a via. Right, there we go. BR204 update is indeed released. I'm crazy. Rivet Games and Dovetail put that out earlier this week, if I remember rightly. Emojis for the signal. So you're saying a red signal should have a poop emoji on it? I quite like that idea, actually. More train sims need poop emojis in them. Oh, you're going the right way this time. Looks like it. Right. Oh, this is a run around, is it? We're going to couple up to our wagons. Bit of white lights. Black for red, white for green, and something for yellow. Yeah, there are high contrast colours that can be used. It's an interesting idea. I will store it away and think about the way that colours can be employed within the world. I'd only been thinking about the bits we artificially add to the world, like the HUD and so forth. Poop signals might reduce the toilet breaths. No, it would increase it because. Best passenger train you've been on in real life. My favourite passenger train is the Javelin. It's the Class 395. It's modern, it's sleek, it's fast. And in TS it's really fun to drive. Right. Carpool. Right, we're going to Aschaffenburg south, so I'm going to take that out and remove that. Put that into off. And take that out. Into here, put that in, put that in. That in, release. Make sure we get brakes off. Put that in fast. No, because it needs to be neutral. Switch CFR on. And now I want front headlights. I want that to be red. Alright. I don't actually want anything there. What am I doing? I want the back headlights on. I want those to be white. Right. It's better. Adjust me seat. All right. I think we're at all automatic junctions at this point. What have we got to do? A little bit of madness in Aschaffenburg. Shush. Is it B on? Don't turn that on when you're moving, it gets all kinds of bent out of shape. PCB like AWS? No, PCB is much more advanced than AWS. Much more advanced. AWS is really, you were here and the signal wasn't green. Are you okay with that? Yes. Oh, the audio's gone. Hang on, it'll come back. Usually. Come back, audio. There you go. Told you it'd come back. Right, got an NE2 board there. Acknowledge that. Capri, we used the Helgen turntable on the 1S Model Railway. It's excellent. What's the 1785 in blue? So I turned PZB signalling on because I'm going on the main line now. So I put all the safety systems on. And a minute ago we went through a white board with like a big X. There's actually two triangles, but it looks like a big X. And that had a little magnet on the ground. Let me go back to it and I'll show you. There it is. So this magnet down here is what I needed to respond to. This is called an NE2 board, and that gives you 1,000 hertz, which is what's come up here. Now what that's doing is it's imposing a 40 km/h speed limit on the train, and this is because if you're a runaway train out of the yard or not paying attention, they don't want this train. They don't want trains to come out of the yard too fast onto the main line. There's another one here, so this is another board. So this is a second opportunity for the driver to not be paying attention and therefore not be allowed out of the yard. So having passed through both of those, we're now still on 40 kilometers an hour, but it's reset our 1,000. So the 750 meters we're held at 1,000 at the 1,000 hertz is extended essentially. And takes us probably to the junction round here somewhere. See you later, Ollie. Thank you for joining us. The German safety systems really confuse your mind. They did me for a long time as well. Now I've got the hang of them, I really, 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 really enjoy them. And it's the PZB is probably one of the main contributors to my mostly enjoying German routes. Right, so now we've come out of the 1000 hertz, which happened actually just on that junction, didn't it? Yep. So that was to hold us back for that junction, which means we're now limited to 55 kilometers an hour, although the speed limit is lower than that anyway, so that's irrelevant. German safety systems are confusing Steam Trains Unlimited if you don't understand the rules, because it seems like there's just a million different rules firing at you, and just when you think you've understood it, someone introduces a new rule to you. Once you understand it, you realise there's not loads of different rules, it's all the same thing being applied in slightly different ways, and actually it's relatively straightforward, but having been there, I do see why people think it's confusing, I really do. Hey Alex, what's good? The BR204, man. BR204 is what's good. Carbox, loving MSB and HR asking to pick them up. Really should learn the German safety systems. Well, I would recommend it. There's no magnet active. Why are you limited to 55? Oh, it's just come out of the... So after 750 metres with a 1000 hertz limit to 40, it then... for 250 metres further, I think it is, up to the full 1000 metres, you're then limited to whatever the PZB mode, so 55 kilometres an hour. And then once you hit the end of that, then that mode switches off and all the monitoring ends. And now I don't actually have a speed limit, except, well, I think PZB probably is going to hold me to 105 kilometres an hour. I don't think I'm going to do that. Right, we've got another NE2 board here. Well, actually, this is a BRV up, but we'll carry on through there. Keep the train beneath 25 kilometers an hour to avoid the brake. Yeah, that was a stop and proceed board, wasn't it? The NE1 trapezium board there, Steam Trains Unlimited. They're a mandatory red light, normally. The white vertical rectangles with single double buttons, those are 321 boards. So they count down 250, 150 and 100 yards or something like that. A bit like on a motorway when you're driving along and you see them, but they're basically giving you advance warning of exactly where signals are. That's these things. So that's one. At that point, you know the signal's close by. And if the signal is more difficult to see because of the surrounding terrain, curves and so forth, then they might give you more. You might go up to 4, 5 or 6 out, depending on the speed you're likely to be travelling. And if you've got good visibility and you're likely to be going slow, then they might only go to 1 or 2, or if maybe even not at all. I mean, part of learning PTB is also learning the intricacies of the actual signals themselves. They kind of go hand in hand. Once you understand what a signal is telling you, it becomes much easier to understand what you should do with it. So that, for example, is a KS, is it? Is that KS or is that an HL, Steam Trains Unlimited? It's got, I can't even remember what that thing is in it. That's a VOR signal, and this is a ZS3 board telling you what an upcoming speed limit is. And you can, once you understand what each of the component parts of the signal does, it becomes much more clear when you should be acknowledging and what you should be doing about it. The manual for main Spessart Bahn does actually give you a lot of detail about all that stuff is. So this is a good example, actually. This one needs an acknowledgement. So this is I can go into this section, but I should expect to have a red light at the next signal. That's what the double yellow is telling me. That magnet down there is energized, and I must acknowledge, otherwise all the brakes will come on. But I would learn the signals first and then learn PZB afterwards. So, 1000 Hertz activated. So, when you're approaching a red light with PZB on, you're not just approaching a red light, you're also approaching an active 500 Hertz magnet. And if I'm in PZBU like I am, then I must not be exceeding 25 kilometers an hour when I get to that magnet, if memory serves. Or actually, is it 35? Can't remember. I usually go with 25 just to be on the safe side, to be honest. Depends what PZB mode you're in, because if you're in PZB mode O, then you can be doing 65 at the 500 Hertz magnet. M is 45. I can't remember what U is. So in PZB you have to pay attention, whereas under AWS you just smash the button. That's basically it, yes. PZBU is 25. Yeah, I thought it was. PZBU is pretty much as restrictive as it gets. Somewhere there it is. There's a 500 Hertz magnet just there. How do I know it's a 500 Hertz magnet? Just because of where it is. It's in the right place to be a 500 Hertz magnet. There's the 500 Hertz lights come up on the dash, confirming we've had the 500. You don't have to acknowledge that. That's it. It's now switched me, because I've been under 10 kilometers an hour for 10 seconds. It's now switched me over into restrictive monitoring. Which imposes a maximum 25 kilometers an hour speed limit. Until it comes out of restrictive, or until I release myself from it. What do I need to use the doppelstock on HRR? Main Spessart Bahn. Right, we've now got a green-yellow, which is a reduced speed up ahead. We're still on restricted monitoring. I don't have to acknowledge a main signal with green-yellow on it, only a distant signal. The nice thing about this signalling is it's more complicated, but that 500 Hertz has come off. I'm now going to release the monitoring, and now we can speed up to the speed limit. Well, up to the maximum of 40 anyway. Thousand hertz. Must be another switch up here which is holding us down to a lower speed. So green yellow on its own means that we need to be doing no more than 40 kilometers an hour at the next signal, which is 700 meters away. Unless it's got a speed board to tell you a different speed, but 40 is your assumption otherwise. Steam Trains Unlimited, I'm not sure what I'm following, that I follow what you're saying there. This is a repeater board, but it's the same as the last signal, but it's got the white light on it, which is just reminding us what we're coming up against. So this signal is saying from this point on 40 kilometers an hour and expect a red light. So I need to acknowledge this one because of the yellow on the VOR signal there, the angle one. So you don't need to acknowledge a green-yellow main signal. No, you need to acknowledge a green-yellow distant signal. So we've got a couple of shunt signals up here, and then in a minute we'll see the red signal that yellow was warning us about. You just acknowledge every signal, indeed, Ed. That is definitely the other way of doing it. Lots of grounds up here, but I'm going to keep it under 25 because at some point we're going to get the 500 hertz magnet. Just coming into Aschaffenburg. There's another distant signal reminding us that we've got a red light up ahead, and that one needs to be acknowledged because it didn't have a white light on it, and it does have an NE2 board on it. Now we've got sight of the red light. I just need to make sure we're under that 25 kilometers an hour. Engine rooms are an enormous amount to model for comparatively little gain, Steam Trains Unlimited. In an ideal world, I completely agree with you, but they can as much as take a model. It says the engine room is probably more complicated than the cab to model in some cases. Certainly in diesels. Probably about 3 cabs worth. Oh, there you go, look. And the cab used to be one of the really expensive bits, and these days they're not. I think these days the cab is not the expensive. It's things like engine rooms that get expensive and coach interiors. Right. That's what I'm looking for. So head out the correct view for signalling purposes. Hey Alison Rawlings, how's it going? This could be fun. I wonder what PZB is going to do now. Good, it's detected. Because I'm in reverse, it's handled it correctly. That's good. Reversing back up to this other side of the yard up here. What we got left? A couple of vehicles and then shunt around the yard, move around the yard a little bit until we get to our storage. Does the objective marker indicate point-to-point distance or rail travel? Point-to-point. It's as the crow flies. Right, uncouple. Whoops, hello. Which scenario is this? This is a service. It is the Shim's freight delivery. Which is one of the new, more complicated services that's in the in this pack. Good night, Jasper. Thanks for joining us. Right, where are we going? Out to there. Train fan, how's the throttle wheel work? You see how it's got all the numbers all around the outside, and you're just basically selecting different numbers. It's exactly the same as a lever that goes forwards and backwards, except that the value's around in a circle rather than in a line. Make sure we're all good. There we are. Hey Philip, welcome from Germany. Slow down. Good night, only me. We're almost finished on this scenario now on the service, actually, which is good. Right, let's go and park up in our siding, shall we? Trains World, you love this game, bought all DLC? Nice, well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, that's really good to hear. Matt Krigurk, Adelaide, Australia, winter's morning. Oh, it's nice and chilly, is it? I've been to Adelaide once. I still can't get over that you've got your own time zone. Half an hour offset from everything else. There we go. We did it. We successfully did it. Second time around. So there you go, folks. That's one of what's the new service that's in there. Plus, there's the new scenario, which we'll maybe do another time. And that's in the update for the BR204, along with some other stuff. The details and the notes are on the forums as usual. And big thanks to for Rivet for doing the update for everybody. Okay, folks, that's it from me for this evening. I will be back tomorrow at 8 PM for the Fife Circle on Train Sim 2020. Okay, folks, take care, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.